The meeting room fell silent as Ambassador Kurilla's words hung in the air. The blue-skinned Voltar diplomat had just proposed something unthinkable to the Alliance of Free Worlds Council. Humans. General Zorax finally spoke, his scaled face twisting with doubt. You want to recruit humans for our fight? Kurilla nodded firmly. For 300 years, we have tried to defeat the galactic hegemony. For 300 years, we have failed. Their prediction algorithms anticipate our every move. Their ships outgun ours. Their spies infiltrate our ranks. We need something they cannot predict. The holographic display in the center of the room showed a small blue planet, spinning slowly. Earth, Kurilla continued, a backwater world at the edge of the Orion Arm. The hegemony considers them too primitive to be a threat. They don't even have faster-than-light travel yet. Admiral Plex, an elderly member of the insectoid Raxus species, clicked his mandibles impatiently. If they are so primitive, what use could they possibly be to us? Kurilla smiled. They have something no other species in the galaxy has: unpredictability, creativity, tenacity. The hegemony's algorithms cannot account for human thinking because humans often don't follow logical patterns. The council members exchanged skeptical glances. Their latest defeat at the Battle of Proxima Beta had cost them 3 star systems and thousands of lives. They were running out of options. Very well, said Council Leader Dren. Send a delegation to Earth. Be discreet. The hegemony must not know. Dr. Alex Martinez was enjoying his morning coffee when the black car pulled up outside his modest home. He watched curiously as 2 men in dark suits approached his door. Government types, he guessed. As a military strategist who had retired from active service 5 years ago, he occasionally got visits for consulting work. The doorbell rang. Dr. Martinez, I'm Agent Clark. This is Agent Peterson. We need you to come with us. Alex raised an eyebrow. Do I have a choice? Clark's face remained neutral. Your country needs you, sir. 4 hours later, Alex found himself in an underground facility he didn't know existed. He was led to a conference room where a woman was already waiting. Lisa Blackwood. She introduced herself, extending her hand. Diplomatic course. Alex Martinez, former military strategy. Any idea what this is about? Lisa shook her head. They just said it was a matter of national security. The door opened, and a stern-looking military officer entered, followed by 2 people who looked strange. Their proportions were slightly off, their skin tones unusual. Alex felt a chill run down his spine before the officer spoke. Dr. Martinez, Ms. Blackwood, what I'm about to tell you is classified at the highest level. These individuals are not from Earth. They are representatives of the Alliance of Free Worlds. Lisa's eyes widened, but Alex noticed she didn't seem entirely shocked. The taller of the 2 visitors stepped forward. Despite appearing mostly human, there was something unmistakably alien in the way he moved. I am Nex, emissary of the Alliance, he said in perfect English. We need your help. Over the next hour, Nex explained the situation. A galaxy ruled by the iron fist of the hegemony, a desperate alliance on the verge of final defeat, and a last hope plan to recruit humans to join their fight. Why us? Alex asked. According to you, we're centuries behind your technology. Because you think differently, said the second alien, introducing herself as Kurilla. Your species has a unique approach to problem solving that our enemies cannot predict. Your military history is filled with examples of inferior forces defeating superior ones through unexpected tactics. You want us to help you overthrow an entire galactic empire? Lisa asked incredulously. Nex nodded. We need a small team. People who can think outside conventional boundaries. The hegemony's algorithms predict behavior based on logic and patterns. Humans often defy both. Alex and Lisa exchanged glances. It sounded impossible. Insane, even. If we agree, Alex said slowly, when do we start? Immediately, Kurilla replied. We have a ship waiting. We need you to select 2 more team members, someone who understands technology and someone with military expertise. Alex thought for a moment. I know just the people, Sam Collins and Kate Johnson. Very well, Nex said, standing. Pack what you need. In 3 days, you will leave Earth to help save the galaxy. Alex's jaw dropped as he stepped off the alien ship. The Alliance headquarters on Proxima Beta stretched before him, a sprawling city of crystal towers and floating platforms. Ships of all sizes zipped through the air. Beings of countless shapes and colors moved about their business. This is incredible, Lisa whispered beside him. Sam Collins, the engineer Alex had recruited, was already examining the ship they had just exited. The propulsion system must use some kind of gravity manipulation. And the hull material. I've never seen anything like it. Kate Johnson, former Special Forces and the final member of their team, remained silent, her eyes scanning for threats out of habit. Carilla guided them toward a large central building. The council is waiting to meet you. Inside, representatives from dozens of species sat in a circular chamber. Many looked at the humans with obvious skepticism. These are the primitives who will save us. A reptilian being hissed. They don't look like warriors, another commented. Council leader Dren raised a hand for silence. Humans, we welcome you to Alliance space. Ambassador Carilla believes you can help us. I hope she is right, for all our sakes. A holographic display activated in the center of the room, showing a massive fleet of sleek, black ships. The Hegemony's Third Armada, Dren explained. Currently positioned to strike 3 of our core worlds. Their defense systems can calculate and counter any attack strategy we develop. Their ships are faster, stronger, and more numerous than ours. Alex studied the display with interest. Can you show me the data on their response patterns from previous battles? For hours, the humans reviewed the Alliance's battle records. What shocked Alex wasn't the Hegemony's strength, but the Alliance's approach. You always attack the same way, he finally said. Different weapons, different ships, but the same basic strategies. Admiral Plex bristled. We use optimal tactical formations based on millennia of warfare experience. That's the problem, Kate interjected. You're predictable. You fight by the book. And they've read the book. Sam, who had been quiet, suddenly pointed at the hologram. These energy readings, do their shields operate on a frequency-based system? A technical officer nodded. Yes, impenetrable to our weapons. Sam grinned. Not impenetrable. Just really well defended against the expected. What about simple projectile weapons? Projectiles. The officer looked confused. Like missiles. No, like bullets. Metal slugs. No energy signature. The Alliance members exchanged bewildered looks. Lisa suppressed a smile. We stopped using physical projectiles thousands of years ago, Admiral Plex said. Exactly, Sam replied. So they don't defend against them. For the first time, a spark of hope appeared in the Council's eyes. Later, in their assigned quarters, the human team gathered to talk privately. They've given up, Lisa said. They fight, but they don't believe they can win. Alex nodded. They're stuck in patterns of thinking. The hegemony has beaten them for so long they can't imagine victory anymore. Kate was examining the weapons the Alliance had provided them. Their technology is amazing, but their tactics are stale. No adaptability. Sam looked up from a datapad. I've been reviewing their tech specs. We could adapt some of our primitive Earth technology. It might work because it's so unexpected. Alex stared out the window at the alien city. The Alliance expects us to spend months learning their ways, their technology. But that would just make us think like them, and lose like them, Kate added. Lisa stood up. So we don't play by their rules. We bring Earth thinking to this fight. Exactly, Alex said. Tomorrow we tell the Council our plan. We're not going to wait or train or adapt to their methods. What is our plan? Sam asked. Alex smiled. We're going to start breaking rules. Earth style. The hegemony has never faced humans before. Let's show them why that was a mistake. As night fell on Proxima Beta, the four humans began plotting a strategy that would shock both the Alliance and the hegemony. Sometimes the most primitive approach could be the most unexpected. And in this war, unexpected was exactly what they needed. The Alliance Council chamber erupted in voices of protest. Alex had just outlined the humans' plan for immediate action, and the alien leaders were not happy. Impossible. You need months of training. Admiral Plex shouted. We don't have months, Kate replied calmly. The hegemony is already moving against your outer colonies. Lisa stepped forward. While you prepare military actions, I want to open diplomatic channels with some of the hegemony's subject worlds. This caused even more uproar. Diplomacy has failed for centuries. A counselor objected. You've tried official diplomacy, Lisa explained. I want to speak directly to the people. Create internal division. Council leader Dren looked thoughtful. The hegemony controls all communication networks. Sam grinned. Not for long. I've designed a communication system using modified Earth radio technology. It's so old and simple the hegemony won't detect it. Karila, who had remained silent, finally spoke. Let them try. What do we have to lose? After much debate, the council reluctantly agreed. The humans would have 1 month to prove their approach could work. In a workshop filled with Alliance engineers, Sam worked furiously. He was building what he called dumb bombs, weapons with no electronic components that could be detected. Just chemical explosives with mechanical triggers, he explained to a confused alien engineer. No energy signature, no way to detect them until they go boom. The engineer looked horrified. This is primitive. Exactly. Sam smiled. That's why it'll work. In a training area, Kate drilled Alliance soldiers in guerrilla warfare tactics. Stop fighting in neat formations, she barked at the troops. The hegemony expects that. Split up. Use cover. Strike and disappear. A veteran Alliance commander observed with crossed arms. This is not how proper warfare is conducted. And that's why you've been losing for 300 years, Kate replied bluntly. Lisa sat in a communication center, recording messages to be smuggled into hegemony territory. Your hegemony rulers tell you they are invincible, she said to the camera. But ask yourselves, if they're so powerful, why do they fear free speech? Why do they need so many laws to control you? Freedom is not a threat to the strong. It is only a threat to those who fear their own weakness. Deep in hegemony space, on the capital world of Centrum, Supreme Archon Vex received a disturbing report. Unusual activity in the Alliance, my lord, his intelligence officer reported. They appear to be implementing new strategies. The Archon, a tall figure with pale skin and glowing eyes, looked unconcerned. Our prediction algorithms show a 98.7% chance of their defeat regardless of tactical adjustments. There is something else, my lord. We detected an unknown spacecraft near their headquarters. It does not match any known Alliance design. This caught the Archon's attention. Origin. Unknown, my lord, but we intercepted fragmentary communications referencing a planet called Earth. The Archon's eyes narrowed. Earth? The primitive world in the Sol system. Yes, my lord. The Archon stood from his throne. Send a scout ship to this Earth. I want to know why the Alliance has made contact with them. At once, my lord. Back on Proxima Beta, Alex finalized his plan for their first strike. The target, a hegemony communications hub in the nearby Ta City system. This will be our test run, he told his team. Small scale, but high impact. The Alliance commanders want to send a fleet, Kate said. Alex shook his head. No, just 2 ships, small, fast, with volunteer crews only. 2 ships against a hegemony fortress. Sam looked skeptical. They'll be expecting a fleet, Alex explained. That's why we're not sending one. We'll use the retrofitted shuttles with manual controls you designed. No computers for their systems to hack. Lisa looked concerned. This is extremely dangerous. Yes, Alex agreed. But if we succeed, we'll show the Alliance that the hegemony can be hurt. And we'll show the hegemony something they haven't seen in centuries. What's that? Sam asked. Fear, Alex said simply. As they prepared for the mission, none of them noticed the small hegemony probe that had just entered Earth's atmosphere, beginning its scan of humanity's homeworld. The two modified shuttles approached the hegemony communications hub silently. No running lights, no active sensors, just the minimal power needed to maintain life support and manual controls. Alex sat in the pilot's seat of the lead shuttle, his hands on physical control sticks that Sam had installed. This feels like flying a plane from the 1940s, Alex muttered. Sam grinned from the co-pilot seat. That's the idea. No computer guidance for them to detect or hack. In the second shuttle, Kate led a team of 6 Alliance soldiers who had volunteered despite their commander's objections. All of them carried projectile weapons and explosive charges rather than energy weapons. Approaching target, Alex said over the short-range radio, "No sign they've detected us." The massive communications hub loomed ahead, a sprawling space station with dozens of enormous transmission dishes pointed toward different sectors of the galaxy. It was the nerve center for hegemony communications in this sector. Remember, Sam said to the team, we need to plant the charges at junction points 3, 7, and 12. That will disable their network without destroying the station completely. The twin shuttles glided toward a maintenance dock. According to Alliance intelligence, this dock was rarely used and had minimal security. This is too easy, Kate said suspiciously over the radio. They're not expecting anyone to attack using methods this primitive. Alex replied. Their sensors are looking for energy signatures, not metal and chemicals. The shuttles docked successfully. The teams exited wearing simple spacesuits with manual oxygen supplies rather than the advanced life support systems the Alliance typically used. 30 minutes, Alex reminded everyone. Plant the charges and get back here. The team split up. Sam led one group toward the main communications array, while Kate took her team toward the power distribution center. Alex stayed with the shuttles, ready for a quick escape. Sam's team moved through the station's corridors, occasionally ducking out of sight as hegemony workers passed by. The workers, mostly tall, pale beings similar to the Supreme Archon, didn't notice them. The humans and their Alliance companions reached the main array without incident. Start placing the charges, Sam whispered, handing out the explosive devices he had built. Meanwhile, Kate's team encountered their first problem. 2 hegemony guards stood at the entrance to the power distribution center. We need a distraction, Kate whispered to one of the Alliance soldiers. The soldier nodded and moved down an adjacent corridor. Moments later, a small explosion echoed through the station. The guards moved to investigate. Kate and her team slipped into the power center and began placing their charges. Back at the shuttles, Alex received an alert on his communicator. Station security has been activated, he warned the teams. They know something's wrong. Hurry up. Sam's team finished setting their charges and began moving back toward the shuttles. Kate's team was still working. Need 5 more minutes, Kate reported. You may not have 5 minutes, Alex warned. Alarms began blaring throughout the station. Sam and his team reached the shuttles just as hegemony security forces appeared at the far end of the dock. Kate, abort and get back here now, Alex ordered. Almost done, she replied. The security forces opened fire, energy bolts striking near the shuttles. Alex and Sam returned fire with their projectile weapons. The hegemony forces were shocked when bullets tore through their energy shields, which were designed to stop energy weapons, not physical projectiles. Kate and most of her team finally appeared, running toward the shuttles. But as they reached the dock, a security officer fired at them. One of the Alliance soldiers fell. Sam rushed to help, but more security forces were closing in. Go, Sam shouted to Alex. Get the shuttle ready. Sam reached the fallen soldier and tried to pull him toward the shuttle. Another energy bolt struck near them. Kate fired back, covering them. "Sam, come on," Alex yelled. But it was too late. A wave of hegemony forces surrounded Sam and the injured soldier. Kate and the rest of the team barely made it to the shuttles. "We have to leave now or none of us will escape," Kate said grimly. Alex hesitated, then made the hardest decision of his life. Launching detonation sequence. Everyone strap in. As the shuttles pulled away from the station, the charges detonated. The communications hub's dishes exploded one by one. The entire network went dark. For the first time in centuries, a significant hegemony installation had been successfully attacked. But the victory came at a terrible cost. Sam was now in enemy hands. Supreme Archon Vex paced before the large window of his command center on Centrum. The stars glittered outside, reminding him of the vast empire he controlled. But now, for the first time in centuries, that control felt threatened. "Show me the damage report again," he commanded. A subordinate quickly displayed the holographic images of the destroyed communications hub. 3 days had passed since the attack, and the hegemony was still working to restore full communications in that sector. "How?" the Archon demanded. "How did they bypass our defenses?" "They used primitive methods, my lord," the intelligence officer explained hesitantly. "Physical explosives, mechanical triggers, projectile weapons. Our sensors are designed to detect energy signatures, not bullets." The Archon's face darkened. "And the prisoner?" "Being transported here for questioning, my lord. He appears to be from Earth." "Earth," the Archon repeated slowly. "Show me what we have learned about this planet." Images of Earth appeared, along with data collected by the scout ship. The Archon studied them carefully. "They are divided into nations. They fight among themselves. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Yet they managed to do what the Alliance could not for 300 years. The Archon's eyes narrowed. "They are dangerous. Deploy the Vanguard fleet. Crush the Alliance once and for all." Back at Alliance headquarters, Alex slammed his fist on the table. "We need to rescue Sam." "It's too risky," Lisa argued. "The hegemony will be expecting a rescue attempt. We need to press our advantage while they're disoriented." The successful attack on the communications hub had shocked everyone. The Alliance Council, initially skeptical, now looked at the humans with new respect. But the loss of Sam cast a shadow over their victory. "The hegemony is moving their Vanguard fleet," Kate reported, pointing to a holographic map. "Our intelligence says they're preparing a major offensive against our core worlds." Alex paced the room, torn between wanting to save his friend and knowing they needed to focus on the bigger threat. "Sam knew the risks," Lisa said gently. "He would want us to continue the mission." Alex nodded reluctantly. "Fine, but I'm not giving up on him." Council Leader Dren entered the room, his expression for once showing something close to hope. "Your attack has created an unexpected opportunity," Dren announced. "We're receiving messages from several worlds within the hegemony. There are groups who have been waiting for a sign that resistance is possible." "My broadcasts are getting through," Lisa realized. "Yes," Dren confirmed. "And they're having an effect. The primitive communication system your friend designed is working. The hegemony can't block it." Alex looked thoughtful. "We need to coordinate with these resistance groups. If we can create internal problems while we fight the Vanguard fleet, we might have a chance." "The Vanguard fleet has never been defeated," an Alliance commander reminded them. "There's a first time for everything," Kate replied with a grim smile. In a prison cell on a hegemony transport ship, Sam Collins examined his surroundings. The cell was high-tech, with energy fields instead of bars. But the food tray they had given him was simple metal. Sam smiled to himself as he began disassembling it. The hegemony guards had confiscated his weapons and tools, but had underestimated human ingenuity. They didn't realize that Sam had spent his childhood taking apart every device he could get his hands on. As he worked, Sam overheard the guards talking outside his cell. "The Supreme Archon is deploying the Vanguard fleet," one said. "The Alliance will finally be crushed," the other replied confidently. Sam worked faster. He needed to escape and warn his friends about what he had learned during his capture. The hegemony had a central command structure that controlled all their ships and weapons. If that could be disrupted, their perfect synchronization would become their greatest weakness. As the transport ship moved through space toward Centrum, Sam continued working on his makeshift tool. The guards hadn't searched him thoroughly. Assuming their advanced security would contain any primitive human, it was exactly the kind of mistake that might just allow humanity to overthrow an empire. Alarms blared throughout the hegemony transport ship. Red emergency lights flashed in the corridors. Guards ran in all directions, weapons drawn. "The prisoner has escaped," a voice shouted over the intercom. "Lock down all escape pods and shuttle bays." Sam moved silently through the maintenance tunnels, using the ship schematics he had memorized from Alliance intelligence reports. The makeshift tools he had created from his food tray had allowed him to short-circuit his cell's energy field. Now he needed to find a way off the ship before it reached Centrum. Meanwhile, the Vanguard fleet had engaged Alliance forces near the Rigel system. Hundreds of hegemony warships moved in perfect formation, their black hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. On the Alliance command ship, Alex watched the battle unfold on a large tactical display. The Alliance fleet was using the new tactics Kate had taught them, fighting in small, unpredictable groups rather than formal formations. They were causing damage, but the Vanguard fleet's overwhelming firepower was still pushing them back. "We can't win this through conventional battle," Alex said to Kate. "We need something unexpected." Lisa rushed into the command center. "I just received word from one of our resistance contacts within the hegemony. Sam is alive and has escaped his cell." Alex's eyes widened. "Can they help him?" "They're trying. But there's more," Lisa continued. "Before he escaped, Sam discovered something critical about the hegemony's command structure. All their ships and weapons are controlled from a central location on Centrum, the Nexus Control Hub." Kate studied the tactical display. "If we could disable that hub, their entire fleet would be thrown into disarray," Alex finished. "But Centrum is the most heavily defended planet in the galaxy. We'd never get near it." Lisa smiled. "Maybe we don't have to." Sam's message contained something else: the communication frequencies the hegemony uses to control their ships. Alex's eyes lit up with understanding. "If we can broadcast conflicting commands on those frequencies." "Exactly," Lisa nodded. "But we'd need to be fairly close to the fleet to override their signals." Kate pointed to a small moon on the tactical display. "Here, this moon's magnetic field would amplify our broadcast, and it's close enough to the battle." Alex turned to the Alliance commanders. "We need a small, fast ship to reach that moon. Can you provide a diversion?" The commanders looked hesitant, but nodded. After seeing the human success so far, they were willing to trust them. Sam had reached the shuttle bay of the transport ship. 2 guards stood at the entrance. He waited patiently in the shadows, watching their patterns. When one guard left briefly, Sam made his move. Using a tool he had fashioned from parts of a cleaning drone, he created a small electrical surge in a nearby panel. As the remaining guard went to investigate, Sam slipped into the shuttle bay. The bay contained 3 small craft. Sam chose the smallest one, hoping it would be less likely to be tracked. As he worked to override the security lockouts, he heard footsteps approaching. Time was running out. On the small moon near the battle, Alex, Lisa, and a team of Alliance technicians set up the broadcasting equipment Sam had designed before his capture. They worked quickly, knowing the Vanguard fleet would soon detect their presence. "Broadcasting now," Lisa announced, activating the system. Across the battlefield, hegemony ships suddenly began receiving conflicting commands. Some stopped firing. Others changed course abruptly, colliding with nearby vessels. The perfect formation dissolved into chaos. On his flagship, the hegemony admiral watched in horror as his fleet fell into disarray. "What's happening?" "Restore control immediately." "We can't, sir," a technician replied, panicking. Something is overriding our command signals. In the confusion, the Alliance fleet pressed their advantage, targeting key hegemony vessels. For the first time in centuries, the Vanguard fleet was losing a battle. Back on the transport ship heading to Centrum, Sam finally managed to launch his stolen shuttle. As he escaped into space, he set course for the nearest Alliance outpost. He carried with him the most valuable intelligence of all, the exact location and defenses of the Supreme Archon's headquarters on Centrum. The stage was now set for the final confrontation. The news spread rapidly across the galaxy. The invincible Vanguard fleet had been defeated. Dozens of previously loyal hegemony worlds declared independence. Resistance movements emerged on hundreds more. The hegemony, which had stood unshaken for 1,000 years, was suddenly fighting for its survival. On Centrum, Supreme Archon Vex watched his empire crumble with cold fury. He had summoned his remaining loyal commanders to his fortress, a massive structure built into the side of a mountain. "These humans have turned the galaxy against us," the Archon said, his voice dangerously calm. "But we still have one final option." He activated a secure console, revealing a hidden chamber deep beneath the fortress. Inside was a device the size of a small ship, pulsing with an eerie blue light. "The reality disruptor," he announced. "Developed in secret over centuries. It can tear apart the fabric of space-time itself. If we cannot rule the galaxy, perhaps no one should." His commanders looked horrified, but dared not object. The Archon had gone beyond reason. On the Alliance command ship, the human team reunited. Sam had returned safely, and the information he brought proved invaluable. "The Archon is desperate," Alex said, studying the plans of the fortress on Centrum. "Intelligence reports suggest he's activating some kind of doomsday weapon. We need to stop him," Lisa stated firmly. "But a direct assault on Centrum would cost millions of lives." Sam, who had been examining data from sensors across the galaxy, looked up with concern. "Whatever he's planning is already affecting space-time. We're detecting unusual distortions near Centrum." Kate studied the fortress plans. "There's a small entrance here, designed for emergency evacuation. A small team might be able to get in undetected." Alex nodded. "That's our target. We can't wait for a full military operation." The Alliance Council was reluctant to approve such a risky mission, but the increasing space-time distortions left them little choice. A small stealth ship was prepared, carrying the 4 humans and a small group of Alliance special forces. The approach to Centrum was tense. Despite the chaos in the hegemony, the capital world remained heavily defended. Using a captured hegemony identification code obtained by resistance fighters, the stealth ship managed to bypass the outer defenses. "Landing now," the pilot announced as they touched down in a remote area near the fortress. "Good luck." The team moved quickly through the wilderness. Following Sam's intelligence, they located the hidden entrance. Kate used her military training to neutralize the guards silently. Sam bypassed the security systems. They were in. Deep inside the fortress, they encountered increasing resistance. Hegemony guards fought desperately to protect their Archon. Several Alliance soldiers fell in the firefight. Eventually, only the 4 humans and 2 Alliance soldiers remained as they approached the central chamber. "The distortions are getting stronger," Sam warned, checking a small device he had built. "Whatever that weapon is, it's powering up." They burst into the central chamber. Supreme Archon Vex stood before the reality disruptor, his hands on the activation controls. His remaining guards moved to intercept the intruders. "You're too late," the Archon declared. "In moments, this device will tear reality apart, starting with your homeworld." Alex and Kate engaged the guards, while Lisa and Sam moved toward the device. A fierce battle erupted. The Archon, seeing Sam approaching the disruptor, drew a weapon and fired. One of the Alliance soldiers jumped in front, taking the blast meant for Sam. In that moment of distraction, Alex tackled the Archon, knocking him away from the controls. Lisa helped Sam reach the device. "Can you disable it?" she asked urgently. Sam examined the controls. Yes, but it's already activated. Someone needs to manually override it from inside the chamber. They all understood what that meant. Whoever entered the chamber would be exposed to lethal levels of radiation. I'll do it, Alex said, standing up from the unconscious Archon. No, Sam replied. I understand the technology best. It has to be me. Before anyone could stop him, Sam sealed himself in the chamber and began working on the override. Through the thick glass, they saw him smile one last time before the blinding light engulfed him. The distortion stopped. The device powered down. Sam was gone. 3 months later, representatives from 500 worlds gathered on Earth. The hegemony had fallen. A new galactic federation was forming, with each world having an equal vote. Alex, Lisa, and Kate stood before the assembly, honored as the heroes who had helped free the galaxy. But their thoughts were with their friend who had made the ultimate sacrifice. What will you do now? An alien representative asked them. Lisa looked out at the diverse gathering of species. Help build something better. Something worth Sam's sacrifice. As the assembly cheered, Alex gazed up at the stars, visible through the transparent dome. The galaxy was free. Humanity had found its place among the stars, and they would make sure it remained a place of freedom.